In this video, I will discuss 5 hidden truths confirming that you are very attractive. Everybody wants to be attractive, and everyone has something about them that is attractive. But there are certain people who have qualities about them that makes them very beautiful. And if you meet all 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive, then you're considered to be one of the most beautiful people in the world. But don't be discouraged if you do not meet all 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive, because you can always become more attractive. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video so that you can discover the 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive. And that way you can become one of the most beautiful people in the world. My name is Giselle Wallace. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. And please subscribe. Thank you very much. So I'll go ahead and start out with number 1. I'll go in chronological order to number 5 regarding the 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive. Number 1, people are not able to compare you to anyone else because you are one of a kind. Sometimes you meet people who you've never seen someone who looks like them before, or they have a style, a mannerism that really makes them distinct. And sometimes you can't quite put your finger on it, but this person really stands out to you. They're quite appealing. Sometimes it's not necessarily their physical beauty, but the physical beauty, of course, is a part of their attractiveness. But you just really are drawn to this person because they're really unique. They are not like anybody else you've ever met before. And sometimes this person, they have an intangible quality about them that makes you feel very warm and safe. And you may feel like you've known this person in another lifetime, but you don't recognize who it was. And the reason why is because this is the first time that you've ever met someone like this in your whole life. And that's why people are not able to compare you to anyone else, because you are one of a kind. Number 2, you have a magnificent aura and a kind heart. The energy, the spirit of this special person is so very powerful and rejuvenating. You just love to be around this person. And if you are a person who has a magnificent aura and a kind heart, you are very beautiful. The heart is the soul, and it encompasses who you are. And nobody can actually steal your heart. I know they say, oh, you stole my heart away. Well, yes, you actually literally steal people's heart away because they just find you just magnificent. They love your energy. But what's so beautiful about you is nobody can duplicate you. Nobody can steal your aura. They can't take who you are, your essence, away from you. And you're always going to attract people to your kindness and to your soulful, passionate vibe, because you make people feel good. And you also give people hope and inspiration. You are someone who makes a person's day because you have a magnificent aura and a kind heart. Number 3, you attract haters, and people don't want you to know that you're very attractive. There are some people who will never compliment you. And it's not because they are in the mindset of thinking that you must receive compliments all the time and that their compliment really won't carry any weight. No, these are people who are very negative, jealous, and toxic about your presence. They don't necessarily have to know you personally, but you're very attractive. You're very hard to overlook. And sometimes these people, you know them and they know you. And they could be like maybe somebody in your family or maybe a friend. And you don't know that this friend is really a frenemy. And you don't know that this family member is really an enemy. But because you're such an attractive person, you draw these type of toxic people to you. And the reason why is because your light is so bright. They are not able to resist you. And they're intrigued by you. But they really despise your positive energy. They despise how optimistic and fruitful you are, because you make them feel like a failure. And it has nothing to do with you mistreating people, because you don't. You actually treat people very well. But it reminds the haters that they are not on your level. They're reminded that they have a lot of work to do, but they don't want to do the work. So they settle with being a hater. They'll hate on you. And sometimes you may be in a situation where you look really nice, you smell really good. Maybe you are working on something and it turns out very well, whether that's at work or maybe you working on a hobby or a craft, and there's other people around and they just congratulate you and they just commend you and compliment your work. And the hater makes sure that they spread their hate. They'll come in real quickly and they'll say something very sarcastic and berating about your work. They'll say, well, this little project that you just did, it's all right, but it's not better than so-and-so's project. Or they may say to you, if you've been complimented about your beauty, your physical beauty, maybe the way you style your hair, the way you wear your shoes, your clothes, and they notice other people are complimenting you, and that irritates their demons when other people acknowledge you and compliment you and admire you. So usually you'll get this from people who are really close to you, like family members or friends. They'll come in and they'll say, don't let what they said go to your head. I mean, you're cute, but you're not beautiful. They'll say very nasty, degrading, downcasting things to you because they don't want you to know how beautiful and attractive you are, because they know that they are not an attractive person, because beauty comes from within and then it shines externally. And they don't have beautiful characteristics. So they're going to hate on you because they know that you're beautiful. But you don't need to hear from them how beautiful you are, because you're confident and you already know that you're very attractive. And that's why you attract haters, and people don't want you to know that you're very attractive. Number 4, people are fascinated with you. There are people who think you are irresistible. They'll try to keep their cool and act like they're not that much into you. They'll act like they're ignoring you. They may try to downplay their feelings about you. But at the end of the day, they cannot keep you off of their mind. And they can't wait to see you again. They absolutely relish being in your presence. And they feel very blessed that you allow them to be in your life. This could be anyone. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be someone you work with. It could be someone you go to church with. It could be someone you go to school with. It may be someone who you do not know personally, but they may be on social media. And they'll see other people liking your content. They'll see other people making comments about you, but they'll never really make comments or like your content, but they're always watching you. But if they feel like they're being too distant and that you are not going to remember them, or you're not going to have any idea of who they are, then they'll show up every once in a while and they'll like your comment. They'll like your content. They'll leave comments. Some of them, if they know you in person or they're around you, whatever environment that you're in, they'll just show up and show their face because they just want to know that you see them, that you recognize them, because they're so impressed with you that it's almost unbearable for them to think that you do not know about them, or that you will not even consider having them around. These people almost become obsessed with you. They become addicted to you. And sometimes you have to be careful, because these people can have very addictive personalities, and they may not have your best interest at heart, because sometimes that obsession can turn into aggression. But for the people who really adore you, who really think positive about you, since you are a fascinating person, you have the ability to pick up energies, and you're very observant and very intuitive. So you pay attention to your surroundings, and you don't allow everybody in your space, because you know that You are a very attractive person, and a lot of people are going to try to flock to you. They want something from you. And you don't give out your energy to just anybody. You don't waste your time on just anyone. And people can feel your power. They can feel how fascinated you are with just being yourself, because you are a fascinating person and they cannot get enough of you. Some of these people, they have crushes on you. You may know them, you may not know them, but they crush really hard on you. And then sometimes you actually will date certain people, and these people fall in love with you. Like, they fall in love with you very fast and very hard. They can't get you out of their system easy. And sometimes they're so into you that they mess things up with you. And then the relationship doesn't work out. But you are not angry with the person. You are not hung up on the relationship not working out. You just move on. You keep smiling and you keep living your best life. And these people who fall in love with you and these people who can't get enough of you, they are people who are fascinated with you because you are just fascinating. Number 5, you are successful. You win all the time. And the type of success I am referring to is you never give up. You give it your best. You give it your all. You're genuine. You're thorough. You're optimistic about everything that you involve yourself in. Most people think of a successful person as someone who has a lot of money, a wealthy person, a famous person, like a celebrity. And yes, they can be very successful people. But successful people do not always have fame and fortune. Successful people are people who are able to be themselves. They have a joy within their soul. They're always full of light. And they're very content and pleased with the life that they have created. You are a person who loves the simple things. You could just actually go for a walk on a beautiful day, and that is satisfying to you. You are a successful person because you believe that even if you do not pass a test, you do not look at it as a failure. You look at it as a lesson, and you keep going because you are successful. You may be a person who is educated, who has actual degrees. You may be someone who is a leader and you work for a Fortune 5 company. You may be someone who is actually an entrepreneur. You may be someone who actually is very artistic and creative. You may be a poet. You may be an actor or an actress. You may be a writer. You may be a designer. You may be an artist. You might be a musician. You might be a singer, a dancer, a painter, a drawer. Whoever you are, you know who you are, and you are very talented and gifted. And you don't keep your gifts and your talents to yourself. You actually share them with the world, and people adore you. They admire you. And you're not someone who has to receive attention all the time. You're not an attention seeker. You're not somebody who has to be famous and popular. And you're not even someone who is obsessed with making money. But because you are such a motivated, diligent person, your efforts and the work that you invest yourself in, they pay off because you invest in yourself. You take time to invest in whatever you need to do to improve your life. You do the inner work. You probably have a counselor. You probably have a life coach. You probably have invested in going to school. You probably have invested in buying books and reading. You probably have invested in doing research. You probably have invested in learning about culture in different communities because you are a well-rounded person. And all of the investments that you have made in yourself actually lead to you being a person who has financial freedom. And because you are so good at what you do, people are going to recognize you. So you're going to be pretty popular, even if you do not ask for it, because you are successful. There you have it. Those are the 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive. If you have met all 5 hidden truths confirming that you're very attractive, you are one of the most beautiful people in the world. Congratulations. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I want you to know that you're very attractive.